Notre Dame has officially hired Chris Ash, and I really like this play from Marcus Freeman. You never want to lose Al Golden, right? Al Golden, the defense coordinator, was there for 3 years, did an amazing job. He now gets hired by the Cincinnati Bengals, and Al Golden, they would not have competed for the national championship last year if it wasn't for the coaching that Al Golden brought to that team. He was amazing. What I really appreciate most about Al Golden was his acknowledgement of where they would be at a disadvantage. Oftentimes, and I meet with these coaches every week, all right? Like I know a lot of these guys, have been in meetings with all these guys. A lot of coaches, they don't often have blind spots as it relates to their own roster. I think it's very important as a coordinator to acknowledge not just what we do well, but what we might struggle with. And Al Golden was very honest when it came to his assessment and the matchups that they would have on a weekly basis. For instance, there might be a team that they'd be playing against, and he would look at their personnel and say, I'm not sure we can hold up doing what we've done against a group that's this good along the offensive line, for example. So as a result, we have to change what we do. We're going to have to mix and match, or we're going to have to do some movement. We're going to have to create confusion for them, and that's how we're going to attack them. And they did. I also love how the teams like Indiana, for example, Indiana thrived on throwing back shoulder passes. That's what they did. Back shoulder, back shoulder, back shoulder. I mean, they completed 1 million of them. So when you look at how Notre Dame defended Indiana in that first round playoff game, they defended the back shoulder over and over and over again. They did so beautifully. So this was, I think, one of the best coaching jobs in America last year by Al Golden. So replacing him was going to be very difficult. But what can you do? Go and try to find a guy that has a comparable path to Notre Dame as Al Golden. That's Chris Ash. Now, not exactly the exact same experience. Al Golden was a multiple-time head coach. Then he went to the NFL, and then he landed at Notre Dame. Now, Chris Ash has not been that at least multiple times, but he has spent the last 4 seasons in the NFL. He was with Jacksonville and Las Vegas. He was a scout for the Raiders as well, so he's been in the player personnel angle as well. He also has spent a lot of time at the college level where he's had tons of success at Ohio State, Wisconsin, Arkansas, and Texas. Now, there have been some moments where maybe it wasn't as good, but he was the co-coordinator of the national championship team for Urban Meyer back in 2014. So I like this a lot because it feels like Chris Ash is very comparable to Al Golden. He's thoughtful. He's been around the NFL. He's going to implement an NFL style to their defense. And I think he's a guy that will blend really well with the culture that's already been created by Marcus Freeman. One other addition, too, that's massive, they will retain defensive backs coach Mike Mickens. So him remaining on staff was big because he was in the mix for the coordinator job, didn't get it, but retaining him as their defensive backs coach is huge. So not only do you get Chris Ash, but you keep Mike Mickens. That's a win-win for Marcus Freeman.